Welcome back to Celebrial, the place where we slow the headlines down and really look at what everyone else rushes past. If you're new here, take a second to subscribe, because today's story isn't just celebrity chatter. It's the kind of conversation that makes powerful people uncomfortable. So let's ask the question straight up. Did Katt Williams say too much?
P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
When Katt sat down with Shannon Sharpe, most people expected jokes, viral sound bites, maybe some industry shade. What they didn't expect was how calmly and how confidently Katt talked about something far darker. He wasn't laughing, he wasn't ranting, he was explaining. And that's what made it hit harder. Katt described a pattern he says has existed in Hollywood and the music industry for decades. Not random chaos, not isolated scandals, a system. One built on humiliation, leverage, and control.
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to my in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
So you wonder what they did to get there?
I told him no. What y'all do?
Especially over young men trying to break into powerful circles. According to him, these weren't accidents or one-off abuses of power. They were rituals, tests, moments designed to see who would comply, who could be bent, and who would stay silent afterward. And here's the part that shook a lot of viewers. Katt didn't frame this as something new. He said he's been warning people about it for over 20 years.
You know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with, and they don't with who they don't.
That figures like Sean Combs or Harvey Weinstein weren't the whole monster, just the visible heads of it. The real danger, he suggested, lives in the structure underneath, the network, the long memory, the files, favors, and footage that don't just ruin careers today, but keep people obedient for decades. What makes this conversation unsettling isn't just the accusations themselves, it's the timing and the tone. Katt spoke like someone who believes the truth is finally catching up to an industry that's been planning several moves ahead for a very long time.
Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never fucking expected. They be having these big-ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Nigga, come here, come here. Is that 2 niggas kissing?
He implied that blackmail isn't just about shame in the moment. It's about leverage that can be pulled years later when someone becomes powerful enough to matter. And that's why this interview landed differently. Because when you step back and actually absorb what he was saying, it forces a harder question. If these systems really exist the way he describes,
you can't be so happy to change shit that you fuck up your life. You know how many celebrities went to Diddy's house thinking they was finna dance? How does that feel? You a grown-ass man. You gotta leave Diddy's party like that. You can't even sit down in the car. You gotta drive all the way home, standing up.
Then the scandals we've already seen aren't the end of the story. They're the beginning. And the people who built these structures didn't do it for quick wins. They did it to last. Whether you believe every word or not, one thing is undeniable. Katt Williams wasn't joking. He wasn't clout chasing. He was warning.
You know, but when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
And the way Hollywood has gone quiet around certain topics lately is making more people wonder if he touched something he wasn't supposed to say out loud. This is where the conversation starts to get uncomfortable, because once you see the pattern, it's hard to unsee it. And that's exactly why so many people are asking the same question now. Did Katt Williams say too much, or did he finally say what others were too afraid to? And here's the tragic part Katt keeps pointing at. They don't need years of dirt on you. They only need to catch you once, in a moment of weakness, confusion, or desperation. After that, the leverage lasts forever. That's what he's been warning about. If you think this is new, go back and watch Katt's stand-up from 2004. He was saying the same thing back then.
Saying what's been quoted, evil exists in high places. High places and high principalities. Evil don't exist among poor people. But some of the most evil things appear to happen down off in poverty. Nah, that ain't evil. Those are conditions and circumstances that have been created not by your choice. Evil exists at the top. Evil gets to decide which military drop bombs. That's evil. The destruction and disaster that these men can cause, and they never touch a battlefield, that's evil. They're sending other people's children, that's evil.
Long before anyone wanted to listen. So here's the uncomfortable question people avoid. Why do so many industry scandals involve men being humiliated by other men, even when most of them publicly identify as straight? According to Katt, it's not about desire, it's about power. Those closed-door rooms and invite-only parties aren't about pleasure. They're about initiation, about breaking someone down, seeing who will comply, who will stay quiet, and who can be controlled later. That's why moments people brush off as just jokes or just comedy start looking different in this context. Think about situations fans found strange but quickly dismissed, like John Cena walking out naked at an award show, or Terry Crews repeatedly being put in exaggerated, humiliating sketches. On the surface, it's entertainment. Through Katt's lens, it looks more like conditioning. Whether you agree with him or not, that's the point he's making. These aren't random moments. They're signals inside a system where humiliation becomes currency. Loyalty is tested publicly, and silence is rewarded privately. And once you see it framed that way, it's hard not to wonder how many people laughed along without realizing what was really being asked of them. In fact, people like Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle have hinted over the years that they turned down certain bits and situations because it felt less like comedy and more like deliberate humiliation. According to this line of thinking, it isn't random. It's intentional, a way to chip away at confidence, masculinity, and independence until someone is easier to manage. In that framework, it starts to resemble a cult, where degradation replaces belief and obedience becomes the real form of worship. At its core, the argument is about power and control, long-term leverage. If someone has participated in something they're ashamed of, that shame becomes a leash, a permanent reminder to stay quiet, stay grateful, and never challenge the system that elevated them. And the unsettling part is how familiar this dynamic sounds across music, film, and television, even among names people admire and defend fiercely. Shame is one of the strongest tools of manipulation there is. That's why a comment from Terrence Howard still echoes with people who hear it. He once said that as a man, you only surrender your masculinity once, and after that, you never truly get it back. Whether people agree or not, the idea cuts deep. And for a corrupt system, that's the threat. Men who won't bend, won't be embarrassed into silence, won't accept intimidation, and are willing to challenge contracts, power structures, or speak publicly about what they've seen. Multiply that resistance by hundreds, and suddenly the machine stops running smoothly. That's the fear Katt Williams has been pointing at this whole time, and the corrupt system can't tolerate that. Not ever. No matter how depraved it has to become to survive, it will protect itself. That's not just true in music or movies. It's a pattern that shows up anywhere power concentrates at the very top. History proves it again and again. Real evil doesn't live on the margins. It lives at the peak, because control is the only language centralized power understands. When that power feels threatened, it gets reckless. Comedian Charleston White has said he's seen that reality up close, and he doesn't sugarcoat it. According to him, once you understand how desperate, powerful people become when they sense exposure, a lot of Hollywood's bizarre behavior suddenly starts to make sense. And if you zoom out, this isn't new at all. The difference today is visibility. In the modern age, secrets don't stay buried forever. Phones record everything, the internet remembers everything, and over the last decade, we've watched a slow-motion collapse of reputations across Hollywood and the music industry. One scandal after another, year after year. What people are waking up to is simple but uncomfortable. The people at the top don't have better morals. They have the same instincts as everyone else: greed, lust, ego, hunger for power. Except theirs are amplified by money, influence, and protection. And when those instincts go unchecked, they rot everything underneath them. So now I want to hear from you. Do you agree that this isn't just about individual celebrities, but about a much bigger system built on control and silence? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this video made you think, make sure you like it, share it, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Stay curious, stay questioning, and I'll see you in the next one.